Hey everyone, welcome back to my stitching space. This is my absolute favorite spot at home, right here by the window where the light hits perfectly. Grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's hang out for a bit. Today, I want to take you behind the scenes of my latest embroidery project and show you exactly how it came together. I'm someone who absolutely loves freehanding my own patterns. It always starts super simple with a pencil on regular plain paper. Once I get the shapes where I want them, I go over the whole thing with a bold black pen. A little tip: if you design your own patterns, use dark ink. It makes tracing it onto light fabric so much easier later on. This kind of work is all about unwinding and enjoying the process. Look at the design here. We've got a mix of wild blooms, leaves, vines, tiny buds, and baby's breath. For the canvas, I decided to go with this beautiful oval hoop. I didn't overthink the plan for this one. I just wanted to stitch for relaxation and see where it went. See how clearly the lines show through the white cotton when the paper is taped to the back? It's like a built-in light box. Time to pick the palette from my floss plate. Obviously, we need plenty of greens. I picked a rich dark green, some lighter tones for contrast, a few earthy browns, and this gorgeous soft sage green. Let's start with that. We're kicking things off with the dark green. Here's how I like to separate my floss so it doesn't tangle. Just pull the strands out gently one by one. I pulled 2 strands to get a nice thick group of 4 strands. Threaded my small needle, knotted it, and we are officially ready to stitch. I'm clamping the hoop onto my stand now. Honestly, if you don't use a stand, I highly recommend getting one. It makes stitching so much more comfortable, and as a bonus, it keeps the camera steady for you guys. Can you hear the thunder outside? It's a beautifully rainy day here. Just the perfect excuse to settle in and start on this big project. I started with the leaves using a classic fly stitch. You basically bring your needle up, create a loop, and anchor it down at the bottom to form a V shape. It gives you that perfect leaf vein look automatically. To fill out the empty space on the side of this leaf, I just added a few quick straight stitches. Once you get the rhythm down, it's just a matter of repeating it. There are a lot of leaves in this design, maybe 20, 30 or even more. But like I said, no hurrying here. That's enough progress for day 1. Next, let's add the stems using 3 strands of this warm brown floss for a traditional stem stitch. You just want to take small, consistent stitches. keeping your working thread to one side of the needle to create that nice twisted vine effect. With this beige floss, I'm adding little clusters of leaves using the lazy daisy stitch. It's just a simple detached chain loop that looks like a tiny, perfect leaf sprout. Next up, baby's breath. I know it's usually white, but I decided to go rogue and use a soft light pink instead. We're placing French knots right at the tips of the stems and vines. Just wrap the thread around your needle twice, pop it back down close to where you came up, and pull it through. And that's a wrap for today. I usually only stitch for 1 or 2 hours a day to keep it fun. On the days I don't work, traveling is my absolute favorite thing to do. I love exploring beautiful places here in Sri Lanka, and I can't wait to take you guys along with me on some of my trips soon. As you can see, the hoop is still only about 10% to 15% filled at this point. There's a ton left to do. A few days later, I'm back at it. I love stitching outdoors with the birds singing in the background until this happened. Yep, my hoop completely slipped out of the stand and dropped. Real life vlogging right there. Remember that green we picked out earlier? I'm using it now to tackle some small leaves with a fishbone stitch. You just alternate overlapping stitches from the left and right sides toward the center line. It creates a beautiful woven texture. Let me show you a really cool trick for this flower bud. I'm taking a tiny piece of polyester wool padding and laying it right on the pattern. I hold it down with my finger and tack it in place with a few small straight yellow stitches. Once the padding is secure, I stitch right over it with a smooth satin stitch using yellow floss. The needle buries the wool completely, leaving you with this amazing puffed up 3D look. After finishing the yellow part, I drop down to 2 strands to make it extra smooth. Then did the exact same thing for the green base of the bud. Look how neat that looks. The buds turned out great, so it's time to tackle more leaves. This time I tried something new, using a light brown thread and then transitioning it into a darker brown on the same leaf. What do you think? Does it look good? I think it worked out. You know, sometimes in embroidery and in life, we make choices that don't pan out. Don't stress about it. Just snip the threads, pull them out, and try a better way. Back after a busy few days. Check out these pinks. I've got 4 different shades going from dark to light. I'm using them to fill in these accent flower buds with packed French knots. It's so satisfying to see the colors start taking over the empty spaces and bringing the whole canvas to life. Now for the best part. Look at these gorgeous golden oranges and light greens. I'm grabbing a longer needle for the main flowers. If you look at the pattern, we have an outer 1-inch circle guide and 2 smaller inner circles. I'm starting between the inner circles with the orange floss to make cast-on stitches for the petals. You wrap the thread around the needle multiple times before pulling it through to create a raised dimensional loop. While I was working on this white cotton, I started wondering, how cool would this design look on a dark fabric? Anyone want to guess? Would it look better or worse? I'll make sure to put the pattern up for download so you guys can try it out on different colors. I actually want to see it myself, so I think I'll ask an AI tool to swap the fabric color to black later, just to see how it looks. Let's finish the stitching first. Alright, the first row of 3 petals is done. For the next layer, I'm using 6 strands of yellow floss. But here's a little trick to make the petals uniform. I'm sliding a small pen straw over the needle before wrapping my cast-on stitches. The straw acts as a spacer, making it way easier to create these larger, uniform outer petals. I added 5 petals to finish the flower shape, then filled the very center with light green French knots. We are down to the final 2 big flowers. Whenever I get to the very end of a long project, I get so excited to see the final result. But patience is everything here. Let's pause and wrap it up next time. Time for the grand finale. For these large petals, we're bringing back the wool padding trick. This is a 6-petal flower, so it takes a little extra time. I lay down the wool base and cover it completely with yellow satin stitches. Look at how beautifully those petals puff right up off the fabric. To make it even more detailed, I decided to frame the padded petals with extra cast-on stitches. Then I used the orange floss for a ring of cast-on details right in the center, finishing it off with more light green French knots. The hoop looks so incredibly rich and full now. I'm just wrapping up the last few open spots with some little filler stems and vines. Oh, and remember how I wanted to see it on black fabric? I ran it through an AI tool to change the background, and look at this. It looks absolutely gorgeous and super dramatic. You should definitely try making it on a dark fabric if you download the pattern. But for me, I think I still prefer the classic soft look of the white cotton. Check out the final hoop art. I framed it in this yellowish brown wooden frame, which I think matches the golden tones of the flowers perfectly. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey and watching this piece come together. I hope it inspires you to take your time with your crafts, relax, and enjoy the little moments in your day-to-day life. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy stitching!